Good afternoon, and welcome to my October 7th COVID-19 community briefing. The theme of this week and the last several weeks have been Stay the Course. We are watching our numbers at the county level get very near to the targeted levels, but we're not quite there yet. We must maintain this resolve and diligently follow the guidelines of our public health professionals. The County Health Department has created a network of support, and our many partners across the county are working together. I have a call every week with all the mayors across the county and with the county public health officials to check in and get the latest information. We share information and we move the conversation forward on how we and when we can safely reopen. At the city, we're focusing on how to support businesses and the community as it starts to get colder. We are also in the process of creating our 2021 budget and navigating the impacts of COVID-19. This year has been difficult for many, but I am continuously uplifted by the calls and the emails that I get from engaged residents. Anacortes has been committed to staying safe and staying healthy, and our numbers show it. We must continue to stay committed to washing our hands, wearing our masks, and having fewer and shorter interactions outside our households. On July 2nd, the governor halted all forward progress of the Safe Start Reopening Washington plan, and his office has not restarted the county's ability to move forward in that progress. While the governor maintains statewide pause on advancing counties from their current phases, we need to focus on meeting the metrics so that once the restrictions are lifted, our county will be eligible to apply. This week, I've had several updates from the governor's office for phase 2 to share. So libraries. New guidance for libraries align with that of the museum, allowing some indoor activities in phase 2 at 25% capacity. There are extensive guidelines for libraries to follow to assure safely opening for customers and employees. Prior to reopening any operations, libraries are required to develop comprehensive COVID-19 exposure control, mitigation, and a recovery plan. The plan must include policies regarding the following control measures: customer traffic management, PPE utilization, on-location physical distancing, no contact material returns, the COVID-19 safety training, and more. Our library is working on that plan as we speak, and information and reopening will follow in the next few weeks. The new guidelines also cover youth and adult sports, and these guidelines will align with school-related and non-school-related sports guidance. These guidelines will allow more school and non-school sports, both indoors and outdoors, according to a combination of local metrics, which align with the state's metrics for school openings and recommendations. It also provides specific protocols for transportation, group size, and facial coverings. Movie theaters. We haven't talked about movie theaters in a while. Well, these new guidelines will allow occupancy in phase 2, which we are in phase 2, at 25%. Theater attendees will always be required to maintain a 6-foot social distance between households and wear face coverings whenever you're not eating or drinking. Each movie theater must adopt a written procedure for operations that comply with all employee safety and health requirements. The guidelines also have moved alcohol cutoff from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. at restaurants, as well as eliminate indoor household member restrictions for all inside dining, meaning now you can go into a restaurant and you can sit with 6 or fewer people at the same table with people outside your family. Additionally, the guidelines will allow for the table's size, or as I stated, to go to 6 people. There are other additional updates on spacing in the dining rooms coming forward, and new guidance for taverns and breweries and wineries have also been issued. For real estate, these guidelines will allow for open houses, but attendance will be limited based on gathering size limits placed in Phase 2. Outdoor recreation, these guidelines will provide protocol for Phase 2 for races, bicycle tours, rides, runs, cross-country skiing, races, biathlons, canoe and kayak races, marathons, cross-country running, competitions, triathlons, and multi-sport competitions with more than 12 participants. Water recreation facilities. The guidance includes updates for water recreation activities and facilities, as well as miniature golf and putt-putt golf. The new guidance includes opening facilities by appointment only for lap swimming and small group swim lessons, as well as scuba diving centers. To review the full guidance of each of these activities, please see the governor's website. Phase 3 metrics. Metrics on the State Risk Assessment Dashboard, which operates on a 10-day delay order to ensure the data is complete. While most testing in Skagit County has a 72-hour turnaround, most labs in the state have taken much longer to report results. Preliminary data shows that over the next week or so, our cases per 100,000 will trend slightly upward again, and we will not have stayed below the 25 cases per 100,000 threshold for long. Currently, we're at 32.5 per 100,000 as our first metric. The second metric states that we must have greater than 50 individuals tested per each new case during the prior week. We are awaiting an updated information from the State Department of Health. The third metric is we must have less than 2% of the people testing positive, and we have 1.5%. The percentage of beds occupied in the county must be less than 80%, and we're currently at 78.1%. The fifth metric states that the percentage of beds occupied by COVID-19 cases must be less than 10%, and we're at 0.9%. We're meeting 3 of the 5 metrics. Island Hospital reports having tested a total of 6,262 people, with a total of 68 positive cases, 10 positive hospitalized cases, and fortunately, we've had no deaths in Anacortes. In the county, we have 1,134 COVID cases. We've had 22 fatalities and 99 total hospitalization over the course of this pandemic. There have been 26,793 tests performed, with 627 people testing positive at our Skagit Valley College testing site. The testing site needs volunteers to help keep going with the operations this fall. Full day and half day shifts are available. If you're interested in volunteering, contact the Department of Emergency Management at 360-416-1850. 360-416-1850. Our Anacortes Public Library. October has the library back to full-time virtual programming. Next week is a live author event from a New York Times best-selling author, Tony Terra DeLizzi, author of the Spiderwick Chronicles. Attendees can enter to win signed copies of his new books, Kenny's and the Book of Beasts, and submit questions for the library to ask online. Tony is a world-renowned illustrator and writer, so sign up online to ask Tony a question and attend the event at 4 p.m. next Wednesday, October 14th. Regular programs are now in full swing with story time every weekday for families to watch, either via Facebook or on our library's website. Library staff can help you browse for books in the children's library with a new service called Personalized Picks Complete. The form is on the library's website, sharing your preferences, and they will select up to 10 books for you to get at their curbside pickup. Park and Recreation. Our Parks and Recreation Department is also kicking off its fall reading program, partnering with the Anacortes School District and with assistance from the Anacortes Library. The city is utilizing volunteers to develop a reading program for elementary kids. This will be an in-person story time with the goal of engaging kids and keeping them excited about reading. More information on this program will be posted to the city's website soon. Local fiscal impact. During this time, the city has been tracking and evaluating the impact of COVID-19 on our city's budget. And on Monday night, I addressed the City Council and the Anacortes residents at the City Council meeting. I gave my budget message for the proposed 2021 annual budget. The city's financial roadmap for the 2021 has been created in a time mired by economic uncertainty brought on by the coronavirus. My message affirms that we're still creating a budget that reflects our commitment to moving our community forward by monitoring and building essential infrastructure and providing efficient and quality services. A significant change in the 2021 budget is the transition from the biennial budget to an annual budget. We are leveraging the best available information and revenue projections to establish this annual budget. An annual budget will allow us to concentrate on the short-term economic indicators and be nimble in our response to the uncertainty of our current economic condition. One major impact of COVID-19 restrictions has been on our sales tax revenue. Sales tax is one of the largest tax revenue streams funding city functions. The city has seen an average monthly decrease of sales tax revenue of 11%. But in the recent 2 months, we've also seen a slight increase in sales tax revenues. Our information indicates that we will continue to improve throughout the remainder of this year going into 2021. Due to the economic landscape and the projected decreases in revenue, there are accompanied changes in the departmental budgets. Several departments are utilizing what we would call a hold-the-line budget, in which they will remain staffed at their current levels and continue to provide efficient, high-quality service and move already established projects forward. Beyond that, budgets remain static from the previous year. The city's rainy day fund, cash reserve, and the general fund increases or decreases as the city's budget grows or shrinks. For the fiscal year 2020, that reserve stands at $5.4 million and is available to support the general operations. Each of the utility funds also have a rainy day reserve that represent 10% of the fund's annual expenditure, and that also exceeds $2.2 million for 2020. Additionally, the Equipment Rental Fund has $7.6 million set aside for future equipment replacements. My budget message to the residents of Anacortes and the City Council is that I'm committed to continuously evaluating the city's revenue and expenditures with a view on maintaining a strong financial position while providing quality municipal services. This budget has been created in the shadow of a devastating public health crisis, and I cannot be more proud of the city's response to this crisis. The 2021 budget provides our frontline public safety professionals with the resources and the tools they will need to continuously maintain and improve services, our public infrastructure and facilities, and we'll also assure every resident enjoys quality of life in Anacortes. The Anacortes School District recently announced it will be bringing students back into the classroom. After a recent survey which received 1,600 responses, the school district reports that 96% of the respondents want students to return to in-person learning. The community is anxious to get students back into the classroom safely so they can learn with their peers. For the elementary schools, the Anacortes School District staff continue to work on plans to reopen the schools for some limited in-person learning. Elementary students will return in early November. K through 3 students will return Monday, November 2nd. Grades 4 and 5 will return Monday, November 9th on a half-day schedule. This new schedule can place a hardship on families, especially with childcare, and so the school district has partnerships with the YMCA and the Boys and Girls Club, who have expanded some of their services. The school district also will be opening up the middle school and the high school to some in-person instruction, as well as middle school students as well. Middle school students will likely return to the classroom in early December, and high school students will return in February. The school district is still working hard to plan for a transition back to the classroom for middle and high school students, with more information coming soon. The Kiwanis Action Club is resuming its recycling of TVs and computers. The Anacortes Kiwanis Action Club is restarting their generous program, which recycles computers, TVs, monitors, laptops, tablets, e-readers, and portable DVD players for free for the state of Washington's e-cycle program. This starts on the 10th of October, I believe that's this coming Saturday, and will continue on the second Saturday of each month from 9 a.m. to noon at the Port of Anacortes' Web Locker number 36. That's located at Seafarers Way and R Avenue. They are not able to accept electronic like printers or fax machines. So no printers or fax machine, TVs and computers, yes. As I mentioned, I addressed the City Council with my 2020 budget message on Monday. This budget message reflects my unwavering commitment to seeing each and every resident, to serving each and every resident to the highest standards, just as we have done during the COVID pandemic. It is my responsibility to make sure the community receives the most accurate information and resources as we as a community can navigate the impact of COVID-19. We have managed to keep COVID numbers low in our community at much risk to our economy. We have supported each other and have made hard choices. The number of cases has fluctuated since July 4th, and now we want to see how we can get our children back to school and guidance to reopen our businesses and our public institutions safely. The landscape is evolving and changing, and we will continue to make strategic decisions that will support our long-term recovery and sustainability. Thank you, Anacortes, for protecting our community and for protecting each other. And I'll see you again in a couple weeks. Good afternoon.